O Prophet, tell the unbelievers that if they desist from evil, their past deeds shall be forgiven, and if they revert to their past ways, then it is well known what happened with the people of the past. And fight against them until the mischief ends, and the way prescribed by Allah, the whole of it, prevails. Then, if they give up mischief, surely Allah sees what they do. But if they turn away, then know well that Allah is your protector, an excellent protector, and an excellent helper. Know that 1/5 of the spoils that you obtain belongs to Allah, and to the Messenger, and to the near of kin, to the orphans, and the needy, and the wayfarer. This you must observe if you truly believe in Allah, and in what we sent down on our servant on the day when the true was distinguished from the false, the day on which the two armies met in battle. Allah has power over all things. And recall when you were encamped at the nearer end of the valley of Badr, and they were at the farther end, and the caravan was below you along the seaside. Had you made a mutual appointment to meet in an encounter, you would have declined. But the encounter was brought about so that Allah might accomplish what He had decreed, and that he who was to perish should perish through a clear proof, and who was to survive might survive through a clear proof. Surely Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing. And recall when Allah showed them to you in your dream to be few in number, and had He showed them to you to be numerous, you would have flagged and disagreed with one another about fighting them. But Allah saved you. Surely Allah knows what is hidden in the breasts. And recall when He made them appear to be few in your eyes, when you met them in the battle, just as He lessened you in their eyes, so that Allah might accomplish what had been decreed. To Allah are all matters referred for decision. Believers, when you encounter a host in battle, stand firm and remember Allah much, that you may triumph. And obey Allah and His Messenger, and do not quarrel with one another, lest you should lose courage and your power depart. Be steadfast. Surely Allah is with those who remain steadfast. And be not like those who came forth from their homes exulting, with a desire to be seen by people as full of strength, and hindering others from the way of Allah. Allah encompasses all that they do. And recall when Satan made their works seem fair to them and said, "None shall overcome you today, and I am your supporter." But when the two armies faced each other, he turned on his heels and said, "Surely I am quit of you, for I behold that which you do not. Indeed, I fear Allah, and Allah is stern in punishment." And recall when the hypocrites and those whose hearts were diseased said, "Their faith has deluded these believers. But he who puts his trust in Allah shall find Allah Almighty, all-wise." And if you could only see when the angels took away the souls of the unbelievers, striking them on their faces and backs, saying, "Taste the torment of burning. This is your punishment for what your hands have wrought. Allah is not unjust in the least to His creatures." Their case is like that of the people of Pharaoh and those before them. They denied the signs of Allah, and so Allah sees them for their sins. Surely Allah is all-powerful, most stern in retribution. This happened because Allah is not one to change the favor which He has bestowed upon a people until they have changed their attitude. Surely Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing. Their case is like that of the people of Pharaoh and those before them. They rejected the signs of their Lord as false, and so we destroyed them for their sins and caused the people of Pharaoh to drown, for all of them were wrongdoers. Surely the worst moving creatures in the sight of Allah are those who definitively denied the truth and are therefore in no way prepared to accept it, especially those with whom you entered into a covenant, and then they broke their covenant time after time, and who do not fear Allah. So if you meet them in war, make of them a fearsome example for those who follow them, that they may be admonished. And if you fear treachery from any people with whom you have a covenant, then publicly throw their covenant at them. Allah does not love the treacherous. Let not the deniers of the truth be deluded that they will gain any advantage. Surely they can never overcome us. Make ready for an encounter against them all the forces and well-ready horses you can muster, so that you may overawe the enemies of Allah and your own enemies and others besides them of whom you are unaware but of whom Allah is aware. Whatever you may spend in the cause of Allah shall be fully repaid to you, and you shall not be wronged. If they incline to peace, incline you as well to it, and trust in Allah. Surely He is all-hearing, all-knowing. And should they seek to deceive you, Allah is sufficient for you. He it is who strengthened you with His succor and the believers, and joined their hearts. Had you given away all the riches of the earth, you could not have joined their hearts, but it is Allah who joined their hearts. Indeed, He is Almighty, All-Wise. O Prophet, Allah is sufficient for you and the believers who follow you. O Prophet, rouse the believers to fighting. If there be 20 of you who persevere, they shall vanquish 200. And if there be of you 100, they shall vanquish 1,000 of those who disbelieve, for they are a people who lack understanding. Allah has now lightened your burden, for He found weakness in you. So if there be 100 of you who persevere, they shall vanquish 200. And if there be 1,000 of you, they shall, by the leave of Allah, vanquish 2,000. Allah is with those who persevere. It behoves not a prophet to take captives until he has sufficiently suppressed the enemies in the land. You merely seek the gains of the world, whereas Allah desires for you the good of the hereafter. Allah is Almighty, All-Wise. Had there not been a previous decree from Allah, a stern punishment would have afflicted you for what you have taken. So eat that which you have obtained, for it is lawful and clean, and fear Allah. Surely Allah is ever forgiving, most merciful. O Prophet, say to the captives in your hands, if Allah finds any goodness in your hearts, He will give you that which is better than what has been taken away from you, and He will forgive you. Allah is ever forgiving, most merciful. But if they seek to betray you, know that they had already betrayed Allah. Therefore, He made you prevail over them. Allah is all-knowing, all-wise. Surely, those who believed and migrated and strove hard in the way of Allah with their possessions and their lives, and those that sheltered and helped them, they alone are the true allies of one another. And those who believed but did not migrate to Dar al-Islam, you are under no obligation of alliance unless they migrate. And should they seek help from you in the matter of religion, it is incumbent on you to provide help, unless it be against a people with whom you have a pact. Allah is cognizant of all that you do. And those who disbelieve, they are allies of one another. And unless you act likewise, there will be oppression in the world and great corruption. Those who believe and have migrated and strove in the way of Allah, and those who gave them refuge and help, it is they who are the true believers. Theirs shall be forgiveness and honorable sustenance. And those who believed afterwards and migrated and strove along with you, they belong to you. But those related by blood are nearer to one another according to the book of Allah. Allah has knowledge of everything.